Enijayak Minagishgek, Gizaudasop aka BossLady Anish and Dejnikos, Anishinaabe Bodewatami, Indao, Mang Mdodowen. Hello, my friends and relatives. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Gizaudasop aka BossLady Anish. I'm Citizen Band Potawatomi Loon Clan, and welcome back to Indigenous Food Friday. Today we are going to make some fish. We're just making some fish. I'm choosing some walleye today. It's a really, really light white fish, packed with protein, which is what I'm after with this new diet that I'm eating. So we are going to cook. We're actually going to steam it. We're going to steam it. Now, traditionally, you'd use like corn husks that you make into like, that you'd weave into like a parchment. Or you could use banana leaves. You could use squash leaves. It's delicious. Unfortunately, I am out of all of those right now. It's the end of the season and I'm getting to the bottom of some of my stores. So I'm going to use parchment paper instead. But if you want to be traditional, you're going to go for corn husks or squash leaves. You can even use grape leaves, but it's not too traditional. You can use banana leaves too, even though that's more common with our South relatives. But today I'm going to use parchment paper, and parchment paper is fine. So I've got 3 fillets of walleye, because there's just 3 people here. Parchment paper. I have some salt and pepper, some wild sumac that's been processed, and some crushed up juniper berries. And then I have some of my canned tomatoes and maple vinegar and some sunflower oil. Now in my tomatoes that I've stewed that were canned, I have a little bit of garlic in there and a little bit of onion grass and a little bit of salt and pepper for flavor. But that's pretty much it. And that's all you're gonna need for this fish. Now you can change up the ingredients however you want with whatever you like. I'm trying to make it more traditional, but if you want it, you could just do lemon peels and dill with salt and pepper, or whatever you like on your fish. You could do a mango salsa. Like, the sky is the limit. Use whatever you have and whatever you like and whatever you eat. For me, this is a great combo. So I'm gonna get a close-up and we'll get started. Okay, so here I have my parchment paper and my fish. I have all my ingredients laid out, so it makes it super easy. Now I bought these parchment paper already cut into really great squares. If you just have a roll, you can cut them, but this just makes my life easier. I think I got it from Grove, but honestly I don't remember. So to get started, we are just going to put about a spoonful of that sunflower oil just right down the center. And then you'll take your fillet of fish. First, I'm going to salt and pepper the skin side. And then I'm going to place that skin side down on that oil. And then salt and pepper the flesh side, the meat side. Salt and pepper some of the gorgeous citric acid-y sumac. And then very carefully, I crunched up some juniper berries and we're gonna put that all over. You don't want too much because it is really strong, but about that much. Now I'm gonna put another spoonful of the sunflower oil and we're just gonna drizzle that over the top. And then I'm going to take the maple vinegar. If you don't have maple vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, or you can omit. I'm doing just a little bit, not too much, and I'm gonna pour that right down the middle. Perfect. And then I'm gonna take a fairly small, well, it's not small, it's about that big, of the tomatoes, and we're just gonna very carefully spread it all over. We want to keep all the herbs right on there. just like that. Okay, and now we're going to fold it up. So I like to kind of go in on the ends first and crease that down. And then you pull the sides up. And what this does, this process, doing it this way, is it steams the fish in its own juices with that oil and the tomato and the maple vinegar. So you bring that together and you're going to fold it together just like that, keeping those ends together. Fold it again until it's all nice and secure. Just like that. It'll stay. And then we're going to put this, I'll show you what we're going to cook it on. I like these baking dishes. You can tell I've used it a lot. It's been cooked a lot. But we're going to cook it in there. So just, I like it. Try this again. There we go, that's better. Let's go one more time, just to make sure it's secure. And you could staple or even tape this top part if it was being super difficult on you, and I might do that, we'll see. Oh, while you're preparing this, you're gonna heat up your oven to 400 degrees. Okay, let's go to the next fish. So we put down our line of oil. Take our fish, salt and pepper the skin side. Then bring that over, flip it over onto the oil, salt and pepper the meat side. And if you like extra heat, you can add the cayenne to this as well. Here's some sumac and a little bit of juniper, crushed juniper berries. If you don't have any juniper berries, that's okay. You can omit it. A little bit more. But it is very strong and it adds a really piney-like flavor. It's really, really good. And then we're going to carefully drizzle a little bit of that oil on the top. And then a spoonful of the vinegar over the top. And then our tomatoes. And then you're going to cook this. A general rule of thumb is 10 minutes per inch of depth of the fish. These are not quite an inch. So I'm going to cook this for about 5 minutes and check it. Because these are fairly thin. So I'm going to check it at about 5 minutes. But for a just general rule of thumb is for each inch of depth of the thickness, you're going to want to cook for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. Well, and I love this method as well because there are far less dishes that I'll have to cook or that I'll have to clean. So excellent. This is also a great way if you're camping or hunting on the outdoors, in the outdoors. This is such a great way to cook because again, less dishes, less mess, less everything. Fold that, fold it again. Let's fold it one more time. Beautiful, look at that. Go put it on the pan and then we'll do our last one. By this time, you should probably have it, the system. So we put down our oil. Our last fillet, salt and pepper the skin side. salt and pepper the meat side. And then some sumac and juniper berries. Then another spoonful of oil. Drizzle that all over. And a spoonful of our maple vinegar. Whoa there. Let's put a little back. See, now I'm getting carried away, aren't I? A little bit down there. Perfect. Now our tomatoes. Oh, one other thing I put in my tomatoes is dandelion greens. So you can always add some more greens, which are loaded with vitamin C and vitamin A as well. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to fold. And yes, tomatoes are indigenous to Turtle Island, in case you didn't know that. I know everyone thinks of tomatoes and they think of Italian, but Italy didn't have their first taste of tomatoes until plants and trees and all of that stuff started being exported or stolen, however you want to put up with this, explain that, were brought over to Italy from Turtle Island. So yes, tomatoes and potatoes, all from Turtle Island. And chocolate too. When people think of chocolate, they automatically think of like Denmark or Switzerland because they make really amazing chocolate over there, but they wouldn't have that without cocoa that is produced in South America. So now these, let me show you how they all look, all folded up and pretty. See, they're just perfect in their own little pouches. I don't think they need me to seal it with a staple or anything like that, so I'm just going to keep it like that. And I'm going to put this at a 400-degree oven Fahrenheit for 5 minutes and then check it, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, and here we go. I ended up cooking these for 6 minutes, and it's going to be perfect. Look at that. Perfectly steamed in all those amazing herbs and everything. Oh, I love it. Now I'm going to show you how I like to plate this. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. Now you can plate this with wild rice. That is always really great. I really love to plate it with our Four Sisters. I've got it on my blog and YouTube and TikTok and all of that if you want this recipe. But it's basically just all of our Four Sisters, the traditional Three Sisters, the squash, corn, and beans, and then our fourth sister included, which is sunflower seeds. So you can see this is a perfect dish to go with your fish. Okay, so I kind of put that off on the side. And then anything that has corn or maize in, I always like to garnish with culinary ash. This is culinary sage that's been turned into ash, and I just use a little tea sifter, put the ash in, and then you just slightly shake that all around to get just a nice thin dusting of culinary ash. And that's it. You can kind of see how much I put on there. It's not much, but it helps your body to digest all of the ingredients so nothing is wasted. And it also adds an amazing flavor. Okay, so now it's time to dish up our fish. So I'm very carefully going to try to transfer it from the parchment on over there. Oh, almost had it perfect. Hey, that's not too bad. No one will ever know. It kind of fumbled. So we'll just clean up those sides. to make it look like everything just went on there perfectly. No one will ever know. And see how perfect that is? Oh, I wish you could smell it through the screen. So here you go. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you drop some comments if you do try this and let me know what you think. So here you are. And until next time, bon appetit. Thank you.